Welcome to the Elizabeth Cady Stanton home. We at Women's Rights National Historical Park are getting ready to celebrate Christmas the way the Stantons did.
Christmas traditions in the first half of the 19th century were very different from the ones we have today. Before the Industrial Revolution, gift-giving looked very different. Things like fruit and candy were hard to come by in the depth of winter. These things would have been exciting for kids, like a new game.
Christmas trees were not widely used in America until the mid-1800s. Brought on over by an abolitionist and German named Charles Fulton, he'll be bringing it in to surprise his kids with a little taste of home. It'll be quickly picked up at anti-slavery fairs, known as Christmas bazaars, to bring joy and be a giant symbol of freedom. So by the 1840s, Christmas trees will be popular at anti-slavery fairs throughout the United States.
As with many traditions, there are several things passed down from each generation. What Stanton did for her Christmas certainly influenced what her children would have done for Christmas as well. So Stanton described her Christmases in her own writings.
The winter gala days are associated in my memory with hanging stockings and with turkeys, mince pies, sweet cider, and sleigh rides by the moonlight. My earliest recollections of those happy days when the schools were closed, the books laid aside, and the unusual liberties allowed. Centered in a large cellar kitchen, there we spent many winter evenings in uninterrupted enjoyment. A large fireplace with huge logs shed warmth and cheerfulness around. Hickory nuts, sweet cider, and oliekoeks, a Dutch name for fried cake with raisins inside, were our refreshments when there came a lull in the fun.
As St. Nicholas was supposed to come down the chimney, our stockings were pinned on a broomstick, laid across two chairs. In front of the fireplace, we retained our Christmas Eve with the most pleasing anticipation of what would be in our stockings the next morning. The thermometer in the latitude was often 20 degrees below zero. Yet bright and early, we would run down the stairs in our bare feet over the cold floors to carry stockings and broom to the nursery.
The gorgeous presents that St. Nicholas now distributes show that he too has been growing up with the country. The boys and girls of today will laugh when they hear of the contents of our stockings in 1823. There was a little paper of candy, one of raisins, another of nuts, a red apple, an oliekoek, and a bright silver $0.25 in the toe. If a child had been guilty of any erratic performance during the year, which was often my case, a long stick would protrude from the stocking. If particularly good, an illustrated catechism or the New Testament would appear, showing that the St. Nicholas of that time held decided views on discipline and ethics.
During the day, we would take a drive over the snow-clad hills and valleys in a long red lumber sleigh. All the children it could hold made the forest echo with their songs and laughter. The sleigh bells and Peter's fine tenor voice, added to the chorus, seemed to chant as we passed Merry Christmas to the farmers' children and to all we met on the highway.
For Stanton, Christmas was one of the top events of the year, but not only for entertainment, but a learning experience as well. She wrote about another Christmas in her youth, when she learned more about the inequalities between men and women when she showed off her new present. Writing, "One Christmas morning, I went into the office to show them my present of a new coral necklace and bracelet. They all admired the jewelry and then began to tease me with hypothetical cases of future ownership. Now," said Henry Bayard, "if in due time you should be my wife, those ornaments would be mine, and I could take them and lock them up, and you could never wear them except with my permission. I could even exchange them for a cigar, and you could watch them evaporate in smoke." Formative experiences like this had a profound impact on Stanton's views of gender roles and women's rights, set against the backdrop of Christmas gift-giving.
To women in the 1800s, Christmas was also a time of domestic labor. Much of the work of the holidays fell to them: the cooking, the cleaning, the preparing of gifts. Even when businesses and schools were closed, women maintained a heavy workload. The holiday celebrations were centered on the home. Additionally, enslaved people did not have the benefit of celebrating the holiday. they still had to work while their enslavers celebrated. Inequities like this highlighted the need for social change.
The 19th century was a time of dramatic change beyond things like Christmas celebrations. American society began to adapt to new traditions and social norms in ways that reflected growing progressive movements. Traditions and new holidays introduced by immigrants and formerly enslaved people began to influence the holiday season. And industrialization removed some of the need for extreme domestic labor. We can learn a lot from the change in traditions that Stanton witnessed. Things that highlighted the need for a more equal world.